Welcome to Tibalt's Apprentice, Luck of the Draw. What do you think? Is the t-shirt too much? Maybe so. Anyhow, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos featuring Commander content. It's about time. While I had my best month on Arena last month, it was both my best month and my worst month. I got to Diamond within the first 14 days, so, you know, yay me. But then I spent the next 15 days frustrated, angry, not smashing things, but, you know, I was not happy. I spent one entire day, about 8 hours playing, and managed to lose my entire diamond rank. So I was so desperate to win that, yeah, I didn't have fun anymore. So when you think about fun and magic, you think about Commander. So with that in mind, last time we talked about Commander or anything like that, I talked with Max, and I had mentioned to him that I was going to add combos, infinite combos to all of my decks. It's going to do a restructuring of my decks. And that's what I'm going to do. I've chosen one particular infinite combo, and I will be sure to include the link where I found that in there, in the show notes. But we'll get to that in a second. Who's the commander? The commander is Nixilis of the Black Oath. I'm holding it up here, but I guess you can't see it. I probably should have just left it right where it was, and you could still see it there. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I'm still, you know, figuring it out. Anyhow, Nixilis of the Black Oath. Not necessarily a hated commander, just one that nobody plays. I did a little bit of research on EDH Rec, and I think the numbers at the time of this recording is 145 decks. He's only in about 145 decks on EDH Rec, as compared to somebody like Frey Elise, who was another one that came out that time, another Planeswalker commander. And she has about 510, which isn't a ton. I mean, obviously, Planeswalkers as commanders can work. I mean, if you're thinking Nicole Bolas, you're thinking 3,515 decks. Of course, they're not nearly as powerful, but I did enjoy this one. The times that I've won, it's though been because I'm old and I need glasses, and I didn't have my glasses with me, so I slow played the entire game. And then, you know, once the others in the core four had gone at each other and stuff, I just came in and picked up the pieces and stuff. But here's the thing that the other folks in my play group, and probably most play groups in general, have that I don't. Two things that I'm wanting to fix in Nixilis. Number one, they have a win condition. I have win conditions in my deck. I can get there, but too often I'm top decking. I'm top decking the entire game. I'm just waiting to see what the next thing I pull, what's the synergy that's going to make it work, and if not, I'll set on it and I'll have a turn where I don't do anything. And as has been pointed out before, I'm not good not doing things. I need action. I need to see things happen. I need the things to play. With that in mind, I sometimes get a little rambunctious and maybe make plays that I shouldn't. So anyhow, one condition, one thing, win condition, that's what I need. The other thing is that I feel like I've failed on up to this point is having a group hug aspect to the deck. Not just this deck, any of the decks that I play. Many of the people in my play group specifically, and other play groups that I've played with, all have a group hug aspect to it that allows them to either politically make deals or makes them less of a threat or more of a threat, depending on how they approach it. I think I'm going off on a tangent down there. Anyhow, so here's the thing that I need. I need a win condition, and I need a group hug aspect to the deck. To that end, let's talk about the cards that I took out of Nixilis. Now, you'll be able to find this on Tapped Out if you want to check it out. In the meantime, here's a few cards that I removed. For example, Havoc Demon. 7 mana for a 5/5 body that when it dies, all creatures get a -5/-5. That includes my creatures. Not really efficient, not really a good way to go. Xanthra Demon, another 6 mana for a 7/7, but it's too expensive, and if there's too much text here. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature other than Xanthra Demon. Each opponent loses life equal to the sacrifice creature's power. If you can't sacrifice a creature, you tap it and I lose 7 life. Not the best card for that deck, I don't think. Again, one of the ways that I'm going to restructure this deck is so it's faster and I can get more plays. I can get multiple plays. If you watch game nights, if you watch any other streamed or any other game of Commander, you'll notice that big turns with multiple plays are generally what wins the game. Things like Woebringer aren't going to give me that. 5 mana for a 2/3 creature, just not worth it. Noosegaff Mob. Zombie. Sure, it's 6 mana for a 5/5 and I get 2/2 zombies off of it, but this isn't a zombie deck, so let's get that out of there. Mortivore. Power and toughness equal to all creatures in all graveyards. Well, since some of my effects remove people's graveyards, not another card that belongs in here. These other ones, too weak for the deck. A Vampire Cutthroat, Skulk and Lifelink, but not what I need. Multiple redundancies throughout the deck that mean I don't need that. Gonti's Machinations. Who cares if I'm getting energy and so on? Just doesn't belong in the deck. The Shade, the High Priest. Neither of these are cards that are going to win me the game. So let's get rid of those. I'm really not sure why I have a Commander Sphere in here. I can get any color of that my commander can produce. Well, it's a monocolored deck, so that's kind of redundant and ridiculous. Anyhow, those are the cards that are being removed. We'll get back to the ones that I'm going to put in a little bit. In the meantime, I did choose to lean into the somewhat. So we have lots of demons with flying. We have Disturbed Burial with that buyback. We've talked often on this channel about the importance of buyback. We've talked often on this channel about the importance of buyback. Disturbed Burial being able to buy back for just 5 mana total, 1 black, 1 colorless to cast the spell for its normal cost, another 3 colorless for buyback, to return a target creature from your graveyard to your hand. I gotta tell you, I'd like to cast Gary in this deck multiple times. A few other cards of note that everybody, I'm assuming, should be playing is Ether Snap. Don't forget about that when it comes to removing all counters from all permanents and all tokens from the game. An easy way to get rid of Planeswalkers, hopefully other than yours. Garruk's Wake, a nice one-sided board wipe. And Elder Spell, which allows you to also get rid of Planeswalkers. Can you tell I have a thing for Planeswalkers? I'm sure you can. I've talked about it on the show. Anyhow, let's look into the cards that I will be adding into the deck then. So we've covered the cards that are going out. What are the cards that are going in? Well, here's a simple combo to take advantage of what this deck is intended to do. Yawgmoth Thran Physician and Nest of Scarabs. I have protection from humans, which is meh. But I can pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, put a -1/-1 counter on up to 1 target creature, and draw a card. Card draws king. But anyhow, when you combine that with, well, there's also the text on here that I can spend 2 black mana, discard a card, and proliferate. But really, the Nest of Scarabs should help me accomplish what I want to do. That is, whenever I put one or more -1/-1 counters on a creature, create that many 1/1 black insect creatures. Well, you can see the loop right there. What else will take care of that or take advantage of that? Let's add some Gravebane zombies in there. If Gravebane zombies is put into the graveyard from play, put it on top of the owner's library. So, should there be a case where I need to, just a couple of counters from Yawgmoth onto the Gravebane, put it back on top of the deck, get to draw a card, get to make creatures. You can see where the fun is starting to happen with this deck. So there's 3 of the cards that are going in. Because life, gain, and loss is of interest, Tainted Remedy. If an opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. Combining that with a Mind Crank, we have another nice little combo to help keep our enemies in check. Some other cards to be added to the deck are these. No Mercy. Whenever a creature successfully deals damage to you, destroy it. Nice little bit of protection. Corrupt. Deals damage equal to the number of swamps you control to target creature or player. Gain life equal to the damage dealt this way. Consuming Spirit. Spend only black mana on X. Well, it's a monocolored deck, so that shouldn't be hard. Consuming Spirit deals X damage to target creature or player. Gain X life. Consume the Meek. A lot of consuming going on here, isn't there? Destroy each creature with a converted cost of 3 or less. They can't be regenerated. Useful for token decks. Shattered Crypt. Return X target creatures from your graveyard to your hand. Lose X life. I'm not too worried about that life loss since I'll be getting it back very easily. And I mentioned the fact that there are keywords important in the deck. Aside from that, in our playgroup, the keyword Monarch is often used, and I find myself falling behind on card draw, though I don't expect to in this deck. I often find myself falling behind because of the Monarch mechanic. So, a simple Throne of the High City, spend 4, sacrifice it, and I can become the Monarch. Easy little way to snatch away that crown from somebody else. At any rate, this entire deck will be listed on Tapped Out. If you choose to look at it, or if you have any suggestions of cards that maybe I should have looked at instead of the ones that I am putting in, or if you have any suggestions for me or the YouTube channel, let me know. And should you be interested, these shirts are available on Stream Elements, and that's just ridiculous. But anyhow, like, comment, subscribe. I'm glad to be back making a little bit of Commander content again. Love Arena, but after a exhilarating and frustrating month of that, I'm stepping back from the ladder. I'm going to focus some more on some Commander content. In the meantime, thanks for watching.
Hi.
Hi.
Laundry service.
Yay, thank you. I did choose to lean into the keywords.
Am I running your why is it called Ether Snap?
Because it removes all counters from all permanents and all tokens from the game. So it's magical energy that sweeps through.
Aw, snap.
Snap.
Okay. Sorry, I overheard.
Thank you.
I was curious.
I appreciate that. I'm not streaming this live, but that'll go in at the end maybe.
Oh good, you can always edit me out.
I can always edit you out, indeed.